Alright, gang, it's April 9, 2025. It's Thursday. More bad news coming from Apple Valley Animal Shelter. Let's see what it says. Earlier today, April 9th, the shelter announced they had confirmed a case of canine distemper, halting all intake, adoptions, rescues for the next 10-14 days. No dogs in, no dogs out. So that's code for they're just gonna kill as many as they possibly can. This place does not give a flying fuck if a dog gets adopted or a cat. They just don't give a shit. They're all overpaid and have no interest in promoting these creatures for adoption. So, what does it say here now? What is the plan for the pets currently in the facility's custody that are available for adoption for the next 10-14 days? Will these pets be available to rescues? Will they be monitored for symptoms? Offered to rescues with medical waiver? Will all the dogs have access to proper veterinary care during this period? Since intake is closed, will the dogs currently pending euthanasia be relisted? What happened to the dogs from yesterday's list? Are the dogs that were unlisted this afternoon after closing already dead too? What is the plan for county dogs and town strays that would otherwise come to Apple Valley Auschwitz? Are they going to be euthanized upon arrival, diverted to another facility? And then here's a list of people that this networking page would like you to contact, and it's all on the page. You can go look that up. Here's a sample email. In light of the confirmed distemper case impacting rescue's ability to pull pets as well as adopters' ability to adopt, I am requesting that all dogs currently with a status pet are relisted and available to rescues and adopters. At the end of your quarantine, I also request the community be informed of the shelter's quarantine and sanitation protocols for this type of event, as the shelter has done nothing to address the ongoing Parvo virus outbreak. Yeah, unfortunately, gang, we're dealing with just textbook apathy, textbook indifference. My take is that they will do a mass slaughter. This place is very secretive. They don't want you knowing what they're doing. They're all way overpaid. $300,000 plus for a shelter manager. Get real. I don't even know, first year docs making 300 grand a year. I don't know. And then they have kill techs making $150,000 a year. These are positions that don't require any training, any education, any certification. Just hire them off the street. It's absolutely insane. You just have to have a really cold, callous, indifferent, apathetic personality and some sadism. A lot of sadism. So, this is where this place is at right now. And you know what? For all the money they spend just giving themselves these just huge paydays, they could have a vet on site, on and on and on. It's a shame that KTLA or some news source doesn't investigate these people. Don't count on a congressman to do anything because they're lazy fucking grifters. Don't count on a senator to do anything. The mayor of this place doesn't give a flying fuck. He's in it for the money, doesn't give a flying fuck. He's just overweight, lazy, doesn't give a shit. That's the fact, Jack. That's just how it is. When you're lazy and you're overweight, you're not going to do anything. Your whole body is just consumed by fatigue. So there it is. That's just really sad that these innocent creatures are going to pay the price for just, how hard is it to just bleach and clean daily? You bleach and clean walls, floors, kennels daily. Get one of your $150,000 a year techs to just go out and clean all day. That's all they do. Just clean. One kennel after another. If they have to clean it 3 times a day with bleach, then so be it. Too lazy. Don't give a shit. Now let's look at our victims. Mama Kiera They killed all her puppies. Dixie, Toby, Tweety, Candace, Bernice, Bernadette. What happened to the other puppies? Did they kill them too? There's Donald, Kelsey, Rocky, Roger Rabbit, McGee, Babs. Look at that. Look at that fear. That dog's hip to what's going on. Bugs, Buster, Tyler, Red, Desert Girl, Doggy, Thumper, Bambi, Flower, Jamal, Cillian. Yeah, this is it's just gross incompetence. But if this was the real world, where this was privatized, whoever was responsible for this would be fired. But they don't, you know. This is the government. This is all part of the outrage that got Trump elected. Believe it or not, this is all part of the outrage that got Trump elected. Love him, hate him, I don't really care. Yeah. This kind of just gross government incompetence, this gross government overspending on themselves, just making sure that they're covered and they have a nice life and you don't. You know, why is it private citizens are the ones out here like myself trying to promote these creatures? Why aren't they doing it? Because they don't give a shit. They got their big fat paydays and they don't give a flying fuck. So, one thing I'm going to say again is, the other day I was telling you about how on Hitler's birthday, concentration camps would like kill a prisoner every minute. One prisoner killed every minute for, I don't know, the whole day. They killed hundreds and hundreds of people this way, just executing them and documenting it. And that's why we know about it. I have to wonder if this has anything to do with the fact that April 20th, Hitler's birthday is coming up. I have to really wonder, does this have anything to do with that? Because the sadism and the cruelty that goes on in this place is over the top. You know, when you got whole pages of puppies being slaughtered, you know, and you can say, oh, it's Parvo. You know what? It's probably not Parvo. It's probably just goddamn government lazy. But, so we come over to the page. We can look at some of the dogs. I mean, there's literally so many of them. I wish people could get involved. You know, here's another mother and puppies. Rescue only, because they're just babies. Another page full of puppies. Look at this guy. Somebody's making an effort to promote this one. There's another mama and puppies. You know, I realize this whole area is just a disaster. You know, nobody has any control of what goes on there. You know, you don't see the mayor and that whole city doing anything about the just people dumping dogs anywhere and everywhere. The drug mess out here, on and on and on. It's just a fucking disaster. But you know, what you allow is what continues. There's Tweety. They've been killing some beautiful dogs lately, gang. Just, well, they always do, but it's just unbelievable. This is what I'm thinking of. Oh well, you can't even see their photos because this fucked up computer. Gami and Jenny. They're all beautiful dogs, but oh, and that beautiful Kimberly and Cinderella, just unbelievable. But, yeah. See, every type of dog you can think of is here. You know, you should go out and adopt a dog. But in this case, you should probably call them up before you try to adopt. Here's mama and puppies. God, who knows what's going to happen to them. Beautiful little puppies. They'd like to live too. You know, my advice, stop chasing money and bullshit and get involved. Whether it's this shelter or another one. Yeah, so I'm wondering what happened to those two. Only 2 are on this are available. Did they kill them? And see, they don't want you to know anything. They don't want you knowing anything. And they try to intimidate you if you try and move forward. Karen died and the other 5 were killed. Geez, I wonder why. Because you don't want to clean the kennels. Yeah, I get that. It's too much effort. It means you have to get on your hands and knees and work. Let's just take a quick look at the Instagram, which is also covering a lot more other shelters, which are equally reprehensible. This is a dog that really struck me from Roswell. Look at that fear. Roswell, New Mexico, the armpit of the United States. This is a town that's, the economy is all meth and fentanyl and marijuana. It's a drug economy. It's a cartel economy. You can believe what you want, but that's the reality of it. Zaki. And there's his contact info. Or you could just go to that page. These kind souls work so hard to save even just one dog. And all these pages have nothing to do with the shelter. They're just trying to promote these dogs. Look at that guy. That is just horrible. No creature should have to live like that. There's a lot of dogs down there in Roswell. These are all Roswell dogs. Roswell, New Mexico. What a horrible place. The armpit of the earth. When God hates you, that's where he sends you. Roswell, New Mexico. The shitbox of the globe. Here's Rooster. What a beautiful little guy. He'd like to have a home. I don't think this computer's having a lot of problems. You used to be able to click on something and hit next. Now you have to go all the way back to profile and highlight them. So these chain link dogs are all Roswell. Let's see if this will let us see it. This is a Palmdale dog, and you can go to that page. Urgent Lancaster and Palmdale dogs. Here's his twin. And this is, I mean, there's probably at least another 50 dogs in this place that want to get the hell out. There's just no way I can account for all of them. But you can go right to that page and see them all on the Facebook. Facebook to me is just super toxic, but there's a lot of good stuff on it, you know. People trying to promote dogs and cats, and a lot of good mechanic pages. Wow, we're at 13 minutes. Okay, this guy's at Downey. Friends of Siaka page. What a name. But they're all at Downey. That's another horrible place. You know, they don't seem to have that many dogs compared to other shelters, but it's deadly because nobody gets involved. Or few people do, I should say that. There are people that get involved, but there's just not that many. Let's see if this will show us. Who are these guys? Oh, these ones are all slaughtered at San Bernardino and Chandler. You know, like I said, I have to really wonder if some of these mass killings are you know, celebrating Hitler's birthday on the 20th. I really have to believe that, because I know people are evil, but it's a whole nother level of evil. Let's look at this guy. This guy is at Palmdale. So somebody went to all the trouble to mutilate his ears and mutilate his tail, and then they dumped him in Palmdale. And so you go to the Palmdale page. Where is it? Here's all the information on Palmdale. So you can go check him out, or her. Yeah. Anyway, gang, Really horrible day for being an animal as usual. Nobody gives a shit. And there they all are. Mama Kira, puppies slaughtered. Tweety, Toby, Candace, Bernice, Bernadette, Donald, Kelsey, Rocky, scared shitless, Roger, McGee, scared, Babs, Bugs, Buster, Happy Buster, Tyler, Red, Happy, Desert Girl, Doggy, Thumper, Bambi, Flower, Jamal, Cillian. So gang, really, get involved in your local shelter, get involved. Don't be part of the world of assholes that just don't give a shit and all they do is chase money and bullshit all day. Get involved in saving lives. There's no money in this. There's nothing but a lot of heartache, but there's a lot of joy when you see that your efforts have gotten one saved, one out alive. The rest of the world don't give a shit, because that's the theme of the universe. Chase money and fuck people. That's the theme of the universe. Take advantage of people. That's the theme of the universe. But you could help out. You could rescue a dog. You could adopt one. All these lonely, miserable people out there, all they need to do is get a dog or a cat and they can solve that. We'll catch you on the next YouTube.